What's going on? What's going on, everybody? It is the only sports podcast. That's right, the only sports podcast. I'm Will. That's Casino over there. How we doing today, Casino?
Pretty good. I got all my chores done really early today. So I've been playing KOTOR. It's been great. Been having a good time. But I will put that on hold, and I will actually probably have to just turn that whole thing off because my computer is going to need to be charged, and the outlet's right there. But it's been so great. It's been so great. It's not been bothering the wife either. That she's sleeping right through it because it has dialogue that I can just easily deal with. Oh, it's great. This is great. But how are you doing? How's your kid? Everything going good?
Yeah, so we missed last Wednesday's episode. Friday, the episodes might have to change from the solo shows. I might have to switch those to either Saturday or Sunday because Friday's just one of those days where everything kind of just falls onto it now. But Wednesday, we actually had a legit reason why we didn't do the show, which was my son almost broke his leg walking down the stairs, and one of our dogs, who's a black little dog, was like sprawled out across the stair. So he didn't see it. It was night. To avoid stepping on her, he like bent back his foot and basically fell down the stairs. So woke up the next morning. His foot, he said, was hurting all night. It was like double the size of what his other foot was. So we had to go to the doctor we had to go to like 4 different doctors. It took like 6 hours. I was messaging Casino the whole time, just being like, maybe we could do the show after this. And then I literally didn't. It started at like 10 a.m. We didn't get finished almost 4 p.m. So it was fun. And then of course we get back he had to do x-rays, all that kind of stuff. We got back the x-rays and they're like, oh no, he's fine. Should be good in like a week or 2.
So did they just say it was like sprained and that's why it swelled up?
Yeah, and they were literally just like, oh yeah, just give him some Tylenol, give him some ibuprofen, it'll go down if it hurts. And then we got him one of those little $15 things he can put on his ankle, and he's been fine ever since. So that's why we didn't do the show on Wednesday. But today, Casino,
what a loser. What a loser kid. Man.
We are here today.
You let him know I said that. He always picks on me. I'm going to pick on him.
Oh yeah.
Don't tell him to gross on that little baby.
But we are here today to talk about technically the first day of NFL free agency, even though Friday we just got a bunch of news, a bunch of probably the biggest news of free agency still to this day. So let's talk about what happened Friday night, Casino.
100%.
It was reported that Max Crosby, arguably the biggest free agent this offseason that wasn't a free agent. Everybody knew he was trade bait. Everybody was trying to get him. Everybody was apparently offering what the Raiders wanted, which was 2 first-round picks. And the Raiders end up choosing the Baltimore Ravens, who traded their first-round picks for the next 2 years to get Max Crosby. Thoughts on the move?
It's good for the Ravens. I do think it's good for the Ravens. They needed a edge rusher really bad, right? That was their whole thing last year, is they just couldn't, even though their offense was great, they couldn't out-offense a lot of those teams just because their defense was that bad. And it never got any better, right? And then it just seemed like as the season went on, yes, that offense was not as great as we thought it was going to be. And I just think they just got discouraged. They're like, what else can we do? Like, what else can we as the offense do? So bringing in an edge rusher of his caliber, that instantly puts you into at least 2 more games, I would say. Just that's 2 more games that right there. That puts you in the playoffs. That puts you in not a must-win game against the Steelers. So I like this. This is good for them. And apparently what it came down to is just, yes, first rounders, but it was who had the better first round picks in positioning. So that's why they went with the Ravens. You know what? I think Crosby's going to be happy going there because he's going to a place that has an established quarterback. Yes, he has diminished over for past year and a half, right? And we're a little worried about his mobility, but you have a quarterback, you have a new coach coming in. We'll see how this works out. I think it's going to do well for him.
One of these years, all these splashy free agent signings has to either get the Ravens or the Bills over the hump. It just
Has to.
they can only add so many people to the point where it's just like talent just eventually has to
Well,
win out.
they both got rid of their coaches, right? That's
Yeah.
one thing. But it's also with Lamar Jackson, at least, Lamar Jackson kind of folds under pressure a bit when it comes to the playoffs. And on the other hand,
Bit.
Josh Allen, what's up?
A bit.
Yeah,
Try
okay.
a lot.
Trying to be nice, okay? But Josh Allen, on the other hand, he does everything he can. It feels like the rest of the team, the coaching just falls apart, and that dude is just out there, putting his life on the line, damn near, to try to get his team into the Super Bowl. So I know this last go around was really bad on him. That was his time to shine, and he couldn't do it. But yeah. I think this is going to be good, but I agree with you. The hump that both of these teams need to get over, at some point it has to happen. It just has to happen. You can't let the Patriots, on a rebuild year go to the Super Bowl. You can't let the Broncos, who have a rookie quarterback or, now going into his third year quarterback, with a coach who's, yes, an amazing coach, but, they just got together. Lamar Jackson and Harbaugh were together for how many years? Like, come on, they needed to figure that out. Yeah. Sean McDermott and Josh Allen, they had their time to figure it out, and now all these teams are putting pieces together. They're putting together really good rosters, and they're going to make charges. So, like, dude, that window that we thought was open for them has now slowly. We thought it was fully shut, right? We didn't think that they were going to be able to last as long as they have. Somehow they have, both the Ravens and the Bills, to being still good teams. We'll see if this shakes it up, because one of these teams just have to make it this year. If neither one of these teams make it this year, dude, just stop talking about them. Stop talking about it. Move on to the Broncos, move on to the Chargers, move on to, the Patriots, who are a young team with a new coach, young quarterback. Like, move on to those teams that are more interesting because they have players being developed, not players that could not get there during their time.
Yeah. Now let's do our first take impression casino, because I was at the gym this morning. I saw this all over television, which was Max Crosby traded to the Ravens. Does this make the Ravens Super Bowl favorites? And I laughed and I said, of course not. This does not make them Super Bowl favorites, but like you said, this does, I think, elevate them to now being a team where you're like, oh, okay, if Lamar Jackson just doesn't play his worst game of the season in a playoff game, now you're like, okay, he needs to score 17 points. If he can score 17 points and the Ravens can hold the other team to 2 touchdowns, and again, that's including, versing teams like the Texans or other teams with great defenses, questionable offenses, where now the Ravens can be in these rock fights where you're not just like, all right, their offense needs to play perfect for them to even have a shot.
Right. I mean, because the Texans, all they're missing is a quarterback, right? CJ Stroud. I mean, that team is great. There was this meme going around, and it was like showing the entire roster on offense and defense and whatnot. And it was like, how does this team not make the Super Bowl? Like, where's the issue in this team? And everybody just kept going, CJ Stroud.
Yeah. And that ended up being the issue. He turned over the ball, 10 times in 2 playoff games?
Well, I mean, this is after the Super Bowl even. Like, dude.
Oh, yeah.
But there are a lot of good teams, and hopefully with the new coach coming into Baltimore, that this will work out, because there was, the talks of Lamar and Harbaugh not being on the same page, and that was kind of why his Lamar's game was going down. But we'll see.
Yeah. Also, we're getting comments on here. Comment what your thoughts are on YouTube shorts version or regular version. We'll read them on the show. We got a smiley face up here.
I'm liking this right now. I mean, it's really showing all the work I've been putting on my chest, my shoulders. I look good right now.
We got a smiley face by Valentine Maya. We got Yo by Call Me Leaden Dairy. Paul Mizzle says, I need some nuclear duck swag. I don't know what that means. K37.
Wait, who was that?
Paul Mizzle?
Oh, yeah, I gotcha. I know what you're talking about.
K37653, how was your day? It's going good. Fantastic. This has been a fun sports day. And then Jacoby O says, hi, best buddy. Start panting like a dog. Why would we on this show do an impression of your mom?
Yeah. Nice.
But
Nice.
now, last thing about
Yeah, so Paul,
Crosby.
Paul Mizzle, that's my buddy, that the one that's been watching us from the beginning. He wants stuff from my work.
Oh, there you go.
Like,
I mean, get him some nuclear duck swag. I don't know what that means. You don't have to explain it. But with Crosby, he's been in the league since 2019. He's only had 2 seasons. The last 2 seasons are the ones where he hasn't played the whole season. And still last year, even with missing 2 games on, again, the worst team in the league because the Raiders got the #1 pick, still had 10 tackles, 2 forced fumbles, an interception, had more sacks last year than anybody on the Ravens defense. So that's why I think it was then the entire Ravens defense or some insane stat like that. So that's why you trade for a Max Crosby. And also, he goes from the Oakland of the West Coast to the Oakland of the East Coast. I mean, if you think about it, Baltimore casino. I mean,
sure.
I know the Raiders aren't in Oakland, but he was still in Oakland before the team moved to Vegas. So next up, and again, we're just going to go kind of rapid fire through these because there's so many.
This free agency has just been nuts, dude. It's been going like crazy. My brother said, and this is a good point, that they can actually talk to the players now instead of just the agents. And man, dude, this is. I just watching my phone. It's like ding, 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 ding.
Well,
ding.
earlier you were like, "Oh my God, this free agency is nuts," and then I went on to like the different sites to see what free agent signing you were talking about, and there was so many that happened between me reading the message and me looking it up that I was like, he could be talking about 6 different moves right now. I have
I'm
no
just
idea
talking about
which
it
one
just
he's
all
talking
in
about.
general. Like
Yeah,
just how fast paced this Monday is.
Well, let's move on to I think the last notable Friday one was DJ Moore being traded from the Bears to the Bills to give Josh Allen his #1 wide receiver, which I do think DJ Moore will end up being on that team. I think he's better than Shakir. So thoughts on this one, Casino? I know both you and I from the TikToks we did before this show, go follow our TikTok. We both thought this is actually a better move in our eyes for the Bears than for the Bills.
Yeah, because the Bears, I mean, they want to move to the younger targets, right? They want to move on off of DJ Moore, and they don't want to pay him all that money. And I think it's good. They didn't utilize him that much last year, right? They didn't.
Yeah.
Yes, he made some really good catches, and so when you're watching him, you're like, oh wow, like he did great. Like he is the guy, DJ Moore. We got DJ Moore, but I don't know. I think for Chicago, what they're doing, they went back into the trenches with all their signings so far, and they look good because that's what do you want? You want to make your defense better, make your offensive line better. That is what's really going to, the trenches. That's where football is won, is in the trenches. Can you protect your quarterback? Can you stop the run and make him one-dimensional? Right? That is huge. So I think the Bears are really smart here in doing that. Caleb is continuing to learn. I do think he's going to take another giant leap because from year 1 to year 2, he took a massive leap, right? He cut his sacks in pretty much half. His ball security was better. He wasn't running all over the place. And if he was figuring it out. And I think that connection with him and Ben Johnson, kind of just letting him improv a little bit, but still also here's your structure, was really good for him. I think the Bears team are going to be great. Now, moving over to the Bills, signing DJ Moore, this does help them, but it's not as splashy, I think, as everybody thinks it's going to be. If I was a Bills fan, I would much rather have Mike Evans, even though he's an older player, right?
Yeah.
I would much rather that. DJ Moore, he is going to be their #1 receiver, right? He's going because Coleman's a bust. Shakir, he's good enough, but he doesn't need to be the #1, receiver on that team. Make him a slot guy. Like leave him there, and let DJ Moore be the #1 target, the one that they double team, that they bring the extra safety over to. Let him be that guy. So I think this does help out the Bills team, a bit. Definitely helps them on offense. Just but personnel, moving that other safety over to DJ and opening up some more space in the center of the field, whatever it may be. Those little things help. So It's good for both teams, but I think better for the Bears, and it's not as splashy as the Bills think it's going to be.
See, for me, DJ Moore has always been kind of an anomaly in this league, especially at the wide receiver position. From 2019 to 2024, so not counting last season, these are his targets per year. Targets, not receptions, targets. He had 135, 118, 163, 118, 136, 140. And in 4 of those 6 seasons I just listed, he was barely over 1,100 in 3 of them. He was not over 1,000 in 2 of them, and 1 year he had 1,300 yards. None of those years did he have double-digit touchdowns. So not only is this a wide receiver that, again, you can say he was playing with the Panthers, Bears in those 2 years where it was, whoever the hell the quarterback was before, or it was Justin Fields before Caleb Williams, and then it was with rookie Caleb Williams. But this is a guy that has gotten in his career, except for his rookie year and last year, like the most targets I can ever remember a wide receiver getting in that span of time, just consistently and just not producing to that level at all. Like,
Well, I mean,
he didn't even have 100 receptions any of those years.
Yeah, he did hit over 100,000, Jesus, 1,000 yards from 19 to 21. He was really good there. And then when he got over to the Bears, he had that breakout. And you're talking about his catches, right? Those were
targets. His receptions, he's never had 100-yard reception or 100 reception season. And then also last year,
correct. But with you saying that though, his first year in Chicago, he had 96 catches for 1,364 yards, 8 touchdowns. That's what I have pulled up here. Looks great. But since then, he has kind of gone a little downhill. He hasn't hit over 1,000 since then, right? And you see that. You see that out on the field. And so I think Buffalo is hoping that he can pull something out of his ass and be another 1,000-yard receiver like he used to be, but I just don't see it. I don't see that happening.
Well, I don't. Again, the year in 2013 or 2023, he had 96 receptions on 136 targets, 1,364 yards, 8 touchdowns. That is the outlier year from the rest of what his career has been. The rest of his career has not been anything close to those numbers. And I would also be concerned, if I'm a Bills fan, why last year when the Bears offense is cooking, Caleb Williams looks great. Every 3 games he would have 1 stinker, and then other than that, playoffs he elevated, all this kind of stuff. You have the great Ben Johnson, who did wonders with Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jameis Williams in in Detroit. And then you're the number 1 wide receiver on a team that has a bunch of young rookie wide receivers and young guys in year 1 or 2. And then all of a sudden in that Bears offense, like you said, he was a ghost most of the year. They never used him.
No, they were utilizing all these young guys, and that's what they're doing. They're like, oh man, these young guys were running circles around DJ. Just absolutely just crushing him. Let's go with the young guys. Get rid of them. Free up that contract. Let's go.
He had 50 receptions, 85 targets. So again, like most of his career, he has almost double the amount of targets as he does receptions. Again, that's a thing where that's on the player. They're clearly trying to get you the ball. You instead, on 50 receptions, 85 targets, you got 682 yards and 6 touchdowns. That's fine. But again, you're being paid and you're being talked about as if you're wide receiver 1 for the Bills and you just solved all their offensive problems. Look at the comments in when this trade was announced. It's by Bills fans being like, oh, this is it. We're hand us the trophy now. We're going to the Super Bowl. And it's just like, guys, you had a top 7 defense last year, the number 1 arguable best running back in the league. You have number 1, arguably the best quarterback in the league. You have top 10 offense, both passing and rushing. Top 7 defense. Again, it's like we keep always hearing, as an Eagles fan, I keep nonstop hearing about how Jalen Hurts is the super team around him, and that's why he's successful. When are we going to start being like, hey, Josh Allen's got it pretty good in Buffalo and just never delivers?
See, this is going to be this, and I agree with you, but I think this is going to be the year because I truly think it was coaching. I think it was coaching because Josh Allen, you watch how he plays. Yes, his last game this last season, right? He did not look good, and it was on him. He goes and bawls his eyes out at the podium, and he's like, "Oh, it was on me. It was on me. It was on me." But that team wouldn't be in that position if it wasn't for him. So,
yeah, but like, that's a shit argument. It's a shit argument because, again, we hype him up to be the best quarterback in the league, and then when his team, the defense is playing great, the running back's playing great, and then he has a bad game, it's like, well, they wouldn't have been here without him. And then it's like,
but you're right. You're right.
In the most important game. Like
it doesn't. You're going into whatever game. I'm back. Okay. But so these players, I'm going to say is, it doesn't seem like this team is ever 100% together. It doesn't ever seem like they're 100% together. Somebody's off enough to where they lose a game. They lose an important game, right? So we'll see what happens with the new coach. Again, I'm a Patriot fan. I know my brother hates me saying this, but I wouldn't mind if the Bills went. I hate the Jets more just because it's fun whooping on them. I hate Miami more because they were always the team that messed with the Pats. And the Bills, they were the Bills. They were the Bills.
Yeah, the lovable losers.
Here's the thing, and the fact that they haven't gone to a Super Bowl since Brady's been gone, and they have Josh Allen and all of this, I'm just like, all right, that's fine. Now let them get to one. Let them go and get to one, win one. Sure, that's fine. Because you should have won about 3 by now. So
yeah,
blow it out your ass.
Let's move on to now. We can finally get to Monday because that was just Friday.
Monday.
Yeah. So you know what? I'm just going to go the most notable. We're not going to go first to whatever, because again, it's been so jumbled today. I don't think I could do first to most recent if I tried. So let's talk about Mike Evans. Again, kind of in the Crosby class, where it was a guy who wasn't a free agent that was still talked about as if he was a free agent. Like it was one of those things where it was like, oh, he's definitely going with back to the Bucks unless somebody offers him something good. So what he got offered was a chance to go play with Kyle Shanahan in with the San Francisco 49ers. So Mike Evans has agreed to terms with the 49ers. Casino, thoughts on this move?
So, I thought he was going to stay with the Bucks because, Otten was going to stay and what's up?
No, I did too. I agree.
Yeah, I thought he was going to, I thought you said you're on mute. Got it. So Otten staying over there at Tampa, I thought Mike Evans was going to stay as well. They're a good team. And Mike Evans, when he was back, right? When he was back, he was getting targets. He was looking good. Baker was getting it to him. But moving over to San Fran, oh boy, I'm sure he's happy. Shanahan is happy because towards the end of your career, you want to go to a coach that understands offense. And, if you're an offensive player, go to a team, go to a coach that understands offense, and they're going to be able to make you still look good, even as you are aging and your game is diminishing a little bit, right? But I think he still has a lot left in the tank. And going to San Fran, it's going to show. They're going to make plays for him to get another 1,000-yard season. He's going to be good. He's going to go in there and crush it as long as he can stay healthy, which has been an issue for him. And now you're going to the 49ers, who literally have like three ambulances on the sidelines waiting for players.
Not only that, it's one of those things where like the 49ers are so injury prone that now there's conspiracy theories about why they're so injury prone, which I'm sure you've seen with like their practice field is next to, like electrical towers or something that's supposed to mess up your body. I don't know. But again, they're so injury prone that there's conspiracy theories about why they're so injury prone. Now, the interesting thing about Mike Evans is there was this quote from someone in the Buccaneers organization that said, Mike Evans' decision to leave Tampa was never about money. The Buccaneers were extremely aggressive in the pursuit and presented a very strong offer, demonstrating how much they value him and everything he has meant to the franchise. In the end, this decision simply came down to Mike wanting a new challenge and fresh opportunity while he still feels like he has a great deal left to give to the game. So he went to the 49ers for a 3-year, $60 million deal. So again, do I don't feel like the 49ers are that big of an advantage to win a Super Bowl over what they had going on in Tampa Bay. Again, Tampa Bay has won a Super Bowl more recent than the 49ers have. Mike
Yeah,
Evans
but
was
they did
on that
that. They
team that
did that
won
with
it.
the all-time best quarterback. So I mean, come on now. Like
Yeah,
there's a
but it
difference.
feels like kind of a lateral move to go from Baker to what is it, to Purdy, and to just be like, we have way more of an opportunity over here than I did in Tampa. Like, does he?
Well, offensively, I mean, yeah, I would say so. Look what Shanahan did with a literally like third stringers, man, third stringers, and just losing a massive piece almost every single game. He had a giant puzzle going in, a full puzzle, fully done as he went into the season, and he was just like, "Up, there goes that edge. Up, there goes that centerpiece," and he just kept throwing it around until it was just nothing. There was nothing left on that puzzle board at the end of the season, and yeah, he's trying to find a couple more glue pieces to keep it going. And I think Mike Evans is going to be really good for him. It's going to open up that offense a little bit more. It's going to help out Kittle. This is going to be good. I think that this team is going to do well with Shanahan, with Mike Evans' talent. They're going to create plays and space for him to have a really good season. I'm thinking close to like a 1,200-yard season for him going over there
Oh
with
yeah.
Shanahan.
If he can stay healthy, I could 100% see that. But
Yeah.
now also the interesting part about the 49ers is apparently the rumor after this Mike Evans trade this Mike Evans signing was that the 49ers are open to trading Trent Williams now. So that might be another piece where who knows what they could get for him, maybe a first round pick, maybe other weapons on that offense. But again, they were a team that last year their defense was the issue. I mean, they
Right.
finished with they finished with the 20th ranked defense that were allowing 340 yards and 44 touchdowns in a season. So there's all these teams. We're going to talk about the Chiefs in a second. A lot of teams loading up on offense where you look at the defensive side of those teams and you're like, this was kind of the issue for you last year. Like, I mean, the Ravens, the issue was defense, and they immediately went out and were like, we need a pass rush because our defense is awful. All these other teams just loading up on offense. It was like your offense wasn't the issue last year. It was
No.
defense. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, this is the right move because again, I like Mike Evans. If I don't think AJ Brown is being traded, I've said this since the start of free agency. So with AJ Brown off the board, Mike Evans was the best available wide receiver.
100%. I was hoping for Mike Evans as a Pats fan because I think the only shot of AJ going, and my brother brought this up, and I think he hits the nail on the head, that they're not doing it. If they are moving AJ Brown, if you guys do, it is going to be June 1st. It's going to be after the draft. It's going to be, and that is going to put us in such a bind on knowing what we're doing moving forward. You know, I think they're actually just content with what receiver core they have right now, even with getting rid of Stephon Diggs. But you need to bring in something, right? You need to bring in something. You don't have now a number one wide receiver. You don't.
Yeah.
The Pats
Well, and
don't.
also
So
all the
AJ
wide
Brown, that's your
receivers.
own. To me, AJ Brown's your only chance, right?
Yeah.
And that sucks. I'm seeing all these people go off the board and going places, and I'm like, what are we doing as a Pats fan? What are they doing? They're not going for it. AJ Brown is the only one left out there. And I think they know that, right? And they're going to just leverage it and either get a whole bunch from the Patriots or another team. But again, most likely the Patriots because that's who he's tied to. And yeah, we'll see about that. I'm nervous because there's a lot of other things. Obviously, you know, you watched it in the Super Bowl, the Pats, they need the O-line, stuff like that. But with AJ Brown being the last one on the market, your Eagles, they can just ask for whatever. They can ask for whatever they want. Because after that, it's all going to just be
Well, I think also
wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 kind of. Do we lose me again?
Yeah. But I also think, again, I think the AJ Brown asking price is so high because they don't want to trade him. Like, they
Yeah.
don't want to trade him, so they keep just being like, teams are calling, but the asking price is too high. And then it's like, yeah, because they're not trading him. Like,
See,
again,
I do think that they want to move off of him. I truly do think they want to move off of him,
I don't
but
think they do.
they are going to ask the world for him. And if they get the world, I think they will be. I think they will. Any team would be like, all right, we got a first, a second, and another really good player, and like a seventh round pick elsewhere. Like
Yeah.
that would be a huge deal. That would be a monster deal. I don't know how you wouldn't want to do that deal,
Well,
right?
see, the only way I would trade AJ Brown would be for a pick. I know they said they want a first round pick and then a second round pick or
Right.
another pick that's in the top 100. So they want two top 100 picks and a substantial player, which to me means starter. So if you're the Eagles, how you construct your team is in the trenches. So to me,
Mm-hmm.
that means a starting offensive lineman or a starting defensive lineman and two picks in the top 100. I think that, again, is too high a price for every other team in the league, and nobody's going to do that because,
I agree.
again, what we've
That's
seen.
that's a great point. That's a great point. If it happens, it's not gonna be until later, because they just want to hold on to it and see if they can keep throwing bigger and bigger deals out there because there is a deal on the table from the Pats, and I think there's a deal on the table from a lot of teams for AJ. But you guys
Yeah.
are just waiting for just the big, the big one that turns everybody's head, and you guys are the limelight of, and you guys won basically. You won that trade,
Well,
and we'll
also, if it becomes if I'm running the Eagles, I do wait till June 1st because like you said, teams are going to get desperate. Everybody else is going to be off the board. The draft's already going to be over. Maybe they didn't get the guy they wanted, the wide receiver they were looking for in the draft, and then people are going to overpay. So if he's being traded, which I still don't think he will be, at least this year, I could see it next year when the cap hit isn't so severe. But I just think for the dead money hit and for how much like a cap money nerd that Howie Roseman is, I just don't think. And also, again, the biggest splotch on Howie Roseman's entire career as a GM for the Eagles was skipping over Justin Jefferson to pick Jalen Rager. Or to pick, I think it was Jalen Rager, in that one draft where Justin Jefferson was sitting right there. Eagles fans are the biggest liars in the fucking world. Every post I saw was all of them saying they didn't want Justin Jefferson because he couldn't play on the outside or he was a slot receiver. I remember seeing posts nonstop about how we didn't want Justin Jefferson. And then after we didn't get Justin Jefferson and he started being good on the Vikings, every Eagles fan acted like they wanted him. Like, that is a lie. But that is still held against Howie Roseman, even though the fan base didn't want Jefferson. But that's enough about our team's casino because our teams aren't doing anything. My
Well,
team
no,
just,
we were talking about AJ. We were still just talking about AJ Brown, right? We were talking about the
yeah,
relevance of AJ Brown being pretty much the only number one receiver left out there and
yeah.
what he's going because everybody else is taken up.
Well, the other one that was connected to your team was Alec Pierce,
Yep.
where he was the one that it was like, oh, well, he could potentially be the Patriots. I mean, short white guy is at wide receivers like the Patriots bread and butter.
Right.
So
And I know he hasn't had the greatest, he's good, right? He's good. He's improving. That's what I wanted. I wanted him to come over here so he can be under Vrabel and McDaniels and continue to get better. But he decided not. He said, "Oh, I'm going to stick with the Colts." I have no idea why, but sure, you
I
do you,
have
boo
an
boo.
idea why. Because he's getting $120 million.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
that is that he's getting $120 million. We just shit on DJ Moore. Alec Pierce had 1,000-yard season on 47 receptions. He had 1,003 yards. The 3 years previous to that, he had 593, 514, 824. He's been in the league for 4 years, had 3 yards over 1,000 last year, and they paid him $120 million on, I believe, a 4-year deal. So that
yeah. So that's
is,
why I think the Pats didn't. if they had an offer on the table.
Lord.
Dude, that's so much money. Like that was a lot. And again, he's been good, but I don't think he's been that good.
That's wide receiver one money for a guy that I've never seen be wide receiver one on the
No, he's
team.
not a
That's
wide receiver
signing
one
him.
yet. He's not a wide receiver one yet. That's why I wanted him. I wanted the team to make him that. Dude, that is an insane amount of money for somebody who still has to prove it.
Well,
And you know
also,
what? Good for the Colts. You know, do what you want to do, and good luck.
are
Good
we
luck.
sure the Colts front office is a good front office? Because again,
No.
they just
No.
gave $120 million to Alec Pierce. They traded away Michael Pittman Jr. to the Steelers, and then everybody forgets last year they traded 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner. So again, I don't know, some questionable moves that
No matter
again,
how much we
Daniel
loved
Jones,
it, they brought in Phillip Rivers, right? I
yeah.
mean, we like, yeah.
Well, again, and then there's reports and rumors that Daniel Jones is asking for like somewhere north of $50 million to sign with the Colts again. Like, are the Colts really going to, in this offseason, going to trade away arguably their wide receiver one, overpay for their wide receiver two, trade 2 first-round picks away for a cornerback, and then potentially pay Daniel Jones $50 million? Like, I don't know. All those moves to me, if I was a Colts fan, I would be like, what are we doing? What are we doing? But let's keep moving on, Casino, because we still got so much more free agency stuff. Also, I just saw there was something breaking like 4 minutes ago. So I'm going to look at what that was while we discuss the Dolphins. Not only did they sign Malik Willis on a 3-year, $67 million deal with $45 million guaranteed, the backup quarterback from the Packers, they also release Tua Tagovailoa with a dead cap hit of around $99 million. Which it also looks like as of right now, Tua will be heading to Atlanta, which I
Looks
actually
like
kind of
he's
like.
going to the Falcons. Yep.
Yeah, I kind of like that move. But thoughts on just what the Dolphins have done here with cutting a quarterback that cost them $100 million and then signing one that cost them $67 million.
See, the signing, it has to be done. There needed to be change in Miami. There just had to. Something drastic. It had to be done. I was not high on Tua just because he was very injury prone. All these concussions are going to rack up, and he's not playing well. I don't think he's playing that great. Definitely not worth the money that he got paid, right, with that extension a few years back, over $200 million. Definitely not.
No.
So I really think I like Malik Willis going over there. I think this really helps out this Dolphins team because he's elusive. You and I both like him, right? And that means a lot. When we say we like him, that means a lot. But no, we thought he played really good when he had his chance this year, and he looked good. I'm excited for him to go over there. Getting rid of Tua is the biggest portion of that to me for Miami. Getting rid of him, we'll see how this goes forward. With the new coach coming into Miami, a new quarterback, this team is just restructuring everything. Yes, that's a big hit. However, look what happened with the Broncos, right? They did the same sort of thing, and they turned out okay. It can work. If you do it right, it can work. So let's see if they get it to work.
Well, also Malik Willis, again, it's crazy. I honestly don't hate this number that much. 3 years, $67 million. Again, for a quarterback, you're paying what, a little bit more than like $22, $22 million a year.
If he hits all of it, right? It's only $45 million guaranteed. Like that's if he hits all of it.
Yeah. So, but as far as Malik Willis's career, again, he started on the Titans. He played 8, 9, 10. He played 11 games for the Titans, and then for the Packers the last 2 years, he's played 12 games. So, or no, he also played 11 games. So he's played 22 games in his career. But again, last year when Jordan Love was out of the game and Malik Willis was in, there was really no drop off from what that offense or team was doing with Jordan Love. And I keep being told by everybody in sports media that Jordan Love is like a top 5 quarterback in this league, even though I've never seen it. So if he is going in place of a top 5 quarterback and putting up basically the same numbers, then the offense isn't stalling out at all. How do we know this guy can't go to Miami with the new head coach, new system, start fresh, and just, I think Miami's going to be interesting this year without Tua, because again, when Tua was in there and playing good, not even great, that Miami team is rolling, right? They're 2 years removed from putting up 70 points. Now, again, I know that's a different system and all that kind of stuff, but it's still the same team just because the head coach left. They still have those same pieces. So they're obviously not going to have Tyreek Hill, but they still have Jalen Waddle, who I believe can be a number one wide receiver in this league. So Malik Willis, Jalen Waddle, their defense, again, I don't hate Miami's defense. So who knows? I like this move. Again, what's really going to hurt them in this deal is we are looking at the Malik Willis deal and saying, 67 over 3 years isn't bad, but it is bad when you go, but you also have to pile on top of that $100 million they're also paying to another quarterback. So $167 million over 3 years for this quarterback. That's a lot of money. But other than that, if they can get a couple more pieces, maybe shore up that defense a little, I don't hate it. I actually kind of like it. Thoughts on Tua now going to Atlanta. What can he do for the Falcons that we saw that Michael Penix couldn't?
I don't know, but you just said it yourself with Miami. Whenever he was playing good, right? Not even excellent, just good. The team was thriving. So maybe all he has to do is just be good, right? Right. That's all he might just have to be over in the Falcons. They have a lot of pieces over there. That team could be really good. That team's going to be interesting, right? Again, I don't hate Penix like you do. I just think he needs more time and more reps as a backup and more studying to do. You can't hit on every single quarterback that came out of that draft, right? Like that.
Yeah,
it's pretty dang close to doing so. But I don't think he's there yet. And bringing over Chua, who is established and can shine when he wants to. He can shine when he wants to, and I think this is gonna be good. I think this is gonna be really good for the Falcons. Really good. They've got weapons, and Tua, if he gets protected and he's not competing with Jackson Dart for the concussion Olympics, I really do think this guy can do well in Atlanta. Thank you.
Yeah.
And again, it shows that I really haven't talked in front of a lot of people recently because I'm stuttering over everything. This is great.
But no, again, my dark horse to make a big splash this free agency was the Atlanta Falcons. I really thought they were going to try to trade for somebody. I know I floated up multiple times at the end of the season, just trying to trade like for Joe Burrow and just giving up like a king's ransom. Because again, the Falcons last year,
Joe Burrow's screwed.
They did feel like they all they were missing was a quarterback. Like they kind of felt like the Texans of the NFC, where it was like, if they just figure out this quarterback position, they have game changers on the defensive side of the ball. On the offense, they have Bijan, who is arguably a top 3 running back in this league. They have, oh God, how am I blanking on his name? The wide receiver. He helped me win a bunch of games last year. Drake London. They have Drake London, who is arguably a top 5 wide receiver in this league. Their defense last year, I believe, was a top 5 defense. Weren't they a top 5? Oh, they were top 15 in the league, which again, I've always said you need to have an average defense and a top 10 offense, and you can win the Super Bowl every year. So again, they're in a week, they're maybe in the worst conference in the NFL with the NFC South, where again, they still every year it feels like they can win 7 or 8 games. If they just get a little bit better quarterback play, they can win that division.
If they were able to pull off Joe Burrow, dude, that they win Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl. But I feel so bad, and if he does not get out of there, if he can't get out of there this year, now with Max Crosby over at the Ravens, dude, he has to go. Darn it. Sorry, there we go. He has to go against Crosby twice. He has to go against Myles Garrett twice. And he has to go against Bosa twice.
I know that is so rough. And also, well, again, one of the things that just happened since we started recording the show, the Bengals are signing edge Boye Mafe from the Super Bowl winning from the Super Bowl winning Seattle Seahawks on a 3-year, $60 million deal. He's going to the Bengals. That's a good
That's
pick.
not. No. What? Fix your offensive line. Protect your
Yeah, but they need
superstar.
a defense. They need defensive players on the
I
Bengals.
understand, but Joe Burrow has shown that he can put up numbers. You give him some protection. That dude will win games with bad defenses.
Yeah, I
He
know.
will.
Oh,
Sorry,
and
I'm just so worried for Joey B. I love him so much, dude.
Well, also, this is pretty pretty topical and pretty good timing, because as of 10 minutes ago, Tua has signed with the Falcons officially. So there you go. But let's keep moving on, Casino. We still got so much shit to talk about. Next up, let's actually talk about the Chiefs have signed Kenneth Walker on a 3-year deal for $43
Let me
million.
scroll up because there's just so many things going on here.
I know there's so many. It's still happening. As of 2 minutes ago, there was another signing. But Chiefs signed Kenneth Walker, 3 years, $43 million. Deal is worth $45 million, and he gets $28 million guaranteed. Super Bowl MVP. Thoughts on Kenneth Walker, the third, going to the Kansas City Chiefs?
We'll see. They got to make sure that they get that offensive line taken care of, right? Because I told you that was their issue last year. If they can fix that offensive line in this draft, because this is a huge edge and offensive tackle draft, then you're good. Because Kenneth Walker, you give him a little bit of space, he will be off to the races. He showed when what's his face, the other running back for Seattle. Why am I blanking on his name?
Charbonnet.
When Charbonnet got hurt, Walker showed that he could be a bell back, right? He showed that he can be that number one guy. He did it in the Super Bowl against my team, who I thought had a really good defense. But, man, he lit him up. He is a good running back. He showed when he needed to show it why he can be a number one back. And he's going to a team who needs one. He's going to a team that really needs a running back. So, good for the Chiefs for signing him. However, to be determined on if it's going to help them, but if this is going to push them enough to make another Super Bowl run. Does this help them get into the playoffs? I think this can help them get into the playoffs. Everybody's also freaking out that Travis Kelce, yay, Kelce's back, 1 year, $15 million. So I think that hurts your team. You should have got rid of Kelce, not re-signed him, and you should have gone out and got Otten, right? You do that. If they got rid of Kelce, got Otten, and they got Walker, dude, great. Like, they're looking good. And then they did get Tunga from my Pats, so that's going to help them on defense. A nice defensive tackle there. This team, they're putting together a team. They're trying to load this team, I think, one more run with Travis Kelce to go back to the Super Bowl. They're putting together good pieces. They need to do well in this draft. They need to be able to protect Mahomes. They need to be able to open up the spaces for Walker. We'll see if they can do that. If they can do that, this team will be scary again. And I mean, because it's towards Andy Reid's career, it is towards the end of Kelce's career.
Yeah,
they're going all in. They're going to go all in. But yes,
well, it's
in a nutshell, this does help them, but does it make them a Super Bowl contender? To be determined.
Well, it also becomes one of those things where they're adding the pieces on offense. We just talked about Kenneth Walker. They get Kelce back. But what they did lose was 2 starting cornerbacks to the Los Angeles Rams, which that was another signing we forgot to talk about on Friday, where
so many. It's just
I know.
So we don't. You and I don't have enough time to really go in depth. That's why we're just speed running through all of these.
Yeah.
Just
But the Chiefs traded Trent McDuffie to the Rams for their first round pick. The Rams also got Jalen Watson. And then right before we started the show, their safety, Brian Cook, signed with the Bengals. So see, Bengals got an edge rusher and a safety. Now, again, if they get in the draft, they got an edge rusher last year. If they get an offensive lineman, again, I might have to change my Bengals will be a dumpster fire take and not run it back for the third year in a row, because I actually kind of like what the Bengals are doing. But as far as the Chiefs casino, again, they lost basically their whole defensive backfield, which is a safety, their two starting cornerbacks. They signed a running back, which they haven't really had a running game since, Kareem Hunt was decent in their first Super Bowl run. Like after that, they've tried to get Pacheco in there. They've tried to do a two-man backfield with both Pacheco and Hunt, but that hasn't really worked. Mahomes last year was their leading rusher pretty much in every game they played. I think he finished the season as their leading rusher as well. So when you look at the Chiefs, yes, I like adding a running back like Kenneth Walker, who again has always been a guy that we think Seattle has kind of held back because he's been in this two running back system where he's clearly been the better running back. He barely gets 200 touches a year. So if he is really going to the Kansas City Chiefs and, like you said, being that bell cow back who they're giving the ball to him 300 plus times a year, again, he's a young guy. He's only 25. He's a Super Bowl MVP. We saw what happened when he was the primary running back in the Super Bowl and in those playoffs. The Seahawks got better when they switched to him just being their only running back. So
Yeah.
we both like Kenneth
fast.
Walker.
He's really fast. He's not walking. He's running. There we go. Yeah. So no, he's not Walker. He's a runner. Sorry.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Let's see. One for the Eagles was, again, so what happened was the Eagles re-signed Jordan Davis, who as of the end of last year actually was having a better season than Jalen Carter. I fully expect, now there's rumors since they signed Jordan Davis, there's been reports that apparently, teams are calling about Jalen Carter and the Eagles are fielding calls. I could very easily see the Eagles trading Jalen Carter away. But again, they're only trading him away for first round picks. So I really do think if you're calling up the Eagles and expecting to get, either Carter or AJ Brown for cheap, the Eagles have both of those guys under contract. Both of them are going to be dead money or dead cap hits. So it's going to have to be one of those things where you're going to have to overpay. You're going to have to do a king's ransom to get either one of those guys. But now those reports were kind of floating around until what happened today, which was that Jalen Phillips signed a 4-year, $120 million deal with the Carolina Panthers with $80 million in guaranteed money. So Phillips came over from Miami last year, said it was the best day of his life, and he was ecstatic to be a Philadelphia Eagle. And again, the best day of your life and ecstatic to be a Philadelphia Eagle until somebody shows up at your house with a $120 million check. And then you say, oh, fuck the Eagles. Like, I'm going to go be a Carolina Panther. And that's what happened. So the reports in the offseason were the Eagles were trying to focus on, Jalen Phillips. They were trying to focus on, their cornerbacks, getting their defensive tackles signed. So now, and also we talked about it, I believe, last show, where it was their tight end, Goddard, he's gone. So with all these pieces kind of missing, and again, as an Eagles fan, this feels a lot like what happened last year with the defensive tackle that went to your Patriots, where Milton Williams, where I was saying, I like Milton Williams. I would never pay him what the Patriots are going to pay him. If we paid him that on the Eagles, I would have been furious.
Yeah, I think he panned out well, though, for the Pats.
Honestly, I think it worked out well for both teams because Patriots, again, got a run stopper up the middle who helped take that team to the Super Bowl. The
Yeah.
Eagles,
And you know what? That Super Bowl could have been a lot tighter if he didn't miss. There was 2 times where he broke through that line and he ended up going right by Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold was just like, he was
yeah,
aware. That was Sam Darnold's game, and he knew it, and he was gonna win that Super Bowl. But uh 2 out of the 3 times that Milton Williams got through the line, because he was putting the pressure on, he missed them. So that game could have been different. I thought he was great. I think what you're saying, it did work out for both teams.
yeah.
100%.
That's honestly, that's 100% how I feel about this deal, which is I like the Carolina Panthers paying this for a pass rusher because, again, much like every other team in the league, it's left tackle, quarterback, edge rusher. Those are
Yeah.
like the 3 things you have to overpay for. With the Eagles, their bread and butter has always been depth and just subbing guys in and out. They don't want the one guy who takes all their cap. They want 2 guys they can swap in and out who can get consistent pressure
Yeah.
on the quarterback. And again, Phillips was good for the Eagles last year. He wasn't $120 million for 4 years. If the Eagles would have signed him for that, myself and the fan base would have rioted. With all the guys the Eagles have to sign, Jalen Phillips being the one that got the bag, quote unquote, would have infuriated everybody. So
Yeah.
again, I think for both sides this works. I think now this opens up the Eagles to not only re-sign Carter, but potentially Nakobe Dean as well, and kind of shore up those younger guys on their team that, are kind of the homegrown talent, so to speak. So, but thoughts on this move, not only for the Eagles, but for the Carolina Panthers?
No, I think it's good. Again, you just said it. I think it works out for both teams. We like the Panthers. They needed something like that. It's going to work out. I do think that there's some trades that you look at and you're just like, we'll see. Well, I think this works out for both teams. I think this is one of those ones that you're just you just know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And speaking of edge rusher, what's up?
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, moving on. Like, speaking of edge rushers, New York Jets, now they're out there spending money. They just pulled up 2 edge rushers, a linebacker, defensive tackle. Like, they're pushing in. And then, I mean, again, we're just gonna kind of go through a lot of these. There's just so many.
I think we've done all the big ones now. I think we
Yeah.
can now just start going
we can
through
talk-
the rest of them.
Yeah, fair enough. Tennessee Titans, dude, where did they find all this money? I mean, I know they had some money, but wide receiver, they got Robinson, Wan'Dale Robinson, 4 years, $70 million. They got defensive tackle Myers for 3 years, $63 million, 42 guaranteed. Taylor, cornerback Taylor, 3 years, $60 million, 42 million guaranteed. Another cornerback with Flott, 3 years, $45 million, 32 guaranteed. Tight end Bellinger, 3 years, $24 million. And dude, like, they just unloaded. That is
Yeah.
so much money, the Tennessee Titans. But you know what? Hey, getting in a new coach, figure it out. Like, dude, maybe this is what they needed. They just needed to do it, right? It kind of it worked out for my team last year when they were just like, all right, get rid of everybody that Rod Mayo brought in, bring in all these new guys. Maybe this is right here. This is what they need. Still a lot of money, though. I'm not too sure about that one.
Well, also, I feel like the one team we have to talk about that's kind of under the radar, there's 2 of them, because you just said Titans are spending a lot of money. I saw the Commanders are spending a lot of money. Same with the Jets. The 2 teams that went into this offseason with the most cap space are the Las Vegas Raiders and the Los Angeles Chargers. So it's weird to me that we haven't seen their names that much. Obviously, the Raiders we've only seen with trading away Max Crosby, but this is from FanDuel. I read this morning and I was like, how have we not seen them make some big splashy moves? The Raiders currently have the most available cap space in the NFL, 11 picks in the upcoming draft, the best tight end in the AFC, Clint Kubiak, again, is their new head coach, so an offensive guy. It's just weird to me that they have all these picks, they have all this cap space. They have really nobody on their team outside of, Genty and Brock Bowers, obviously just trading away their best player for two more picks. So when you look at the Raiders, Casino, They have the most available cap space. Why are they not signing anybody? This just seems so
because
weird
they're
to
the
me.
Raiders.
I mean, I
There you
guess
go.
it's just
They're
that
the
simple.
Raiders, man.
Yeah, it's just, what are you going to do? Again, you can't, it's not like you can just keep the money if you don't use it. It just sits there. So it's just weird to me that we've seen, again, like they couldn't have signed the boy Mafi guy. He was with Clint Kubiak in Seattle. They would have signed that deal all day for a 3-year, $60 million deal to replace Crosby. But also the name I was talking about is the Commanders have signed the pass rusher from the Los Angeles Chargers. It is, oh God, Odafe Oya. I think I said that name right.
Well done.
I think I actually nailed it. 4-year, $100 million deal, which does seem to be the going rate for pass rushers. It really does seem 4 years,
this
100
year, like,
million.
people are spending money for pass rushers, man. Like,
And
Myles Garrett ruined that for everybody.
well, also
but again, he showed up for it, right? Though, because he got that massive record deal, right? And then he just goes out there and goes, "Oh, I'm just gonna put up a NFL record for sacks." Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Also, did you see we talked about the Steelers trading for Michael Pittman Jr. That deal is worth 3 years, $59 million. And then they're already paying DK Metcalf like $30 million a year. So on 2 wide receivers, they're paying almost $100 million. We don't even know who their quarterback's going to be. Rodgers still hasn't decided if he's coming back next year or not. So
yeah, I don't know, man. A team that I am excited for next year, though, and watch play are the New York Giants, dude. They just got Likely, which is nice, 3 years, $40 million.
I've always liked Likely.
Me too. He's a likable guy. Sorry. But they also got the linebacker. Thank you. Edmonds, 3 years, $36 million. Like, I like this team. This team can be good, dude. This team is going to be good. I really do think that they're going to be a playoff team this year, and I think they're going to turn some heads. I'm excited for this team. Another one that was, what surprised me is Jacksonville Jaguars letting
ETN go.
ETA go. That was that's a bit wild to me, because I mean that was your guy, man. You heard his name like 100 times a game. He was your guy.
I know. And he signs with the Saints. Again, Saints might be one of those dark horse teams where you're just
dude, they're putting in a decent amount. So they got him. Who else did they grab here? So they got David Edwards, offensive guard as well. Like, they might turn some heads. We like what Chuck was doing. What's his name? It was right. I can never say their quarterback's name right.
Tyler Shuck.
Okay, it is Shuck. Okay, yeah, he's going to be my Parsons for you. I can't get his name right, but
Mika. I still don't know. I've heard it both ways. That's the issue. You hear the name. You hear people say the name so many different ways. You're just like, I still don't know which is the right way. But also the one I wanted to talk about was, and I just think for numbers wise, we have to talk about this. It is insane to me. I'm just going to read this from Adam Schefter. Again, at the gym this morning, I'm watching ESPN. They have Schefter sitting at a table. He's so important, Casino. He has his phone in his hand. In the middle of him talking, he goes, I got to take this. I got to take this. Takes out his headphones and puts the phone up, and they cut away from him. So, oh my, it's so dramatic. We need Adam Schefter on TV so he can dramatically hold his BlackBerry up to his face. I hate him so much. I hate him so much. But this is reported by him, probably sourced from 10 other people who got the story before he did. Ravens free agent center Tyler Lindenbaum reached an agreement today on a record deal with the Raiders. So we talked about who the Raiders paid. They paid Tyler Lindenbaum. This is an insane deal. He was awarded today with a 3-year, $81 million deal that includes $60 million guaranteed and makes him the highest paid interior offensive lineman in NFL history.
So that solidifies So that solidifies for the Patriots. So I was hoping that we would get him right after we got rid of Bradbury and he left. And we moved him over to the Bears. I
Who'd
thought
you guys trade your center to?
the Bears.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
I really thought, I was like, okay, we got rid of him. There's two likely options here. You move the rookie Jared Wilson, who was playing left guard. You move him over to center. Or you go after this guy. And it just feels like every guy that the Patriots were going to consider are now just going off of just massive, stupid, big deals. Alec Pierce, him. Like, dude, come on. Like, let's be a little realistic here. You're good. Are you that good? Are you that
Yeah.
good? Damn. And so, you know what? And with that, I will just say this. I always said it for many years. In Bill, I trust. You know what? In Vrabel, I trust. Get it figured out. This is a massive draft. Like, more than half the draft is all, in the trenches. Or so, like, I think we got this. I think they could do it. But I don't know.
I love to see. I'm on the CBS free agency tracker.
That's what I'm on, dude. It's insane.
You love to see this when it's your team. Eagles retained to be announced, signed to be announced. So haven't retained or signed anybody, just extended people who are already on the team for next year. So that's great. Can't wait to see when AJ Brown is officially traded, and then that's the only thing we lost.
And that's the only thing we gain.
Yeah. But I mean, we could keip going, Casino, but I
don't know if I have it in me. I don't know. I need to reload. I need time to think. Literally, I've been just so swamped today with things that I need to get done. My daughter's sick. All these things. My son's sick. They got appointments coming up. Like it's just nonstop, right? It's that season. Everybody's sick. I'm behind on chores. I just heard the washer dryer. They just ended. So I'm about to do that now. Start going to folding. Dishes are done. I got to unload that. Got a lot to do.
Don't forget daylight savings time. I usually wake up at 9. I was up at 7:15 this morning, and I could not go back to bed. Last night, couldn't fall asleep. This morning, couldn't stay asleep. So
no, I think I slept 2 hours the night before because our daughter, we found out that took her in yesterday. She has a double ear infection. But yeah, like dealing with that, she woke us up. Like I had just gotten home Sunday night, and Saturday night. It was because last night was Sunday. Saturday night, and when it was transitioning over, and I got to watch. I got to watch the time go, and I went over to the fridge or the microwave and the oven, changed them right when it happened, and then I was up for another 2 hours after that, and then I got about 2 hours of sleep, and because the wife took our daughter to the doctor, got the diagnosis, all that, so I got about 2 hours of sleep, and then my son woke up, and dude. Fuck daylight savings time. Why do we have to do it? Why do we do it?
I have no idea. Dude, that was the one thing.
Why can't we be Hawaii? Why can't we be Arizona? Like, come on.
Trump apparently is like this guy that hates daylight savings time, talks about it all the time, promised it would change in both presidencies. And that's the one thing he's doing. Literally everything else. He's going back on everything he said. Hasn't brought up daylight savings time once. Again, why do we need it? It's dumb. I did one of those things where I was doom scrolling on my phone, and then I was like, all right, I got time. I don't have to go to bed yet. And then I looked at my phone and it said, 3 or 4 whenever the time changed. And I was just like, oh shit, I completely forgot that was tonight. I thought it was next weekend.
Yeah, so instead of hitting 2 a.m., it jumped to 3 a.m.
Yeah. And
1:59 to 3 a.m.
And then I slept for 4 hours and was up. I've been up early the last 2 days and can't sleep. So that's great.
Do it.
But other than that, Casino, anything to say before we get out of here?
Yeah, got my warranty on track. They basically had to just create a whole new warranty because they lost mine. And then after Costco and I both provided the same receipt that showed purchase of TV and 3-year extended warranty, they're like, all right, yeah, I guess we'll make you a brand new warranty, and then you can put in your claim and go from there. Like, yeah, stop giving me the old reach around.
Yeah. But also thanks to
I knew you were excited to hear that.
I was. But thanks to everybody who stuck around this episode. I've never seen a number where we didn't lose a single viewer this entire episode. The number either went higher or went right back to the number we started the episode with. So thanks to everybody who joined us during this episode. We'll be back on Wednesday to, I'm sure, talk about 50 more moves in NFL free agency that are going to happen.
And probably the conclusion of my warranty. My claim.
Again, AJ Brown will probably still not be traded on Wednesday. If he is, I'll play this clip right here to shame myself. But
I hope it's not done, because it's just going to be way too much at this point.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. But on that note, this has been the Only Sports Podcast. I'm Will. That's Casino over there. We will see you on Wednesday, unless one of my kids decides to break their foot. We'll be back on Wednesday. Casino, go have fun playing your video games.
Dude, I'm gonna go and love playing Goto. Dude, I'm so obsessed with it right now. It's so good. It's so good.
I'm Will. That's Casino over there. Only Sports Podcast. Adios.